Many a times we have thought that the opposite of fear is faith. It's not necessarily the case. And my brothers and sisters, I'm here to tell you that it is very possible for faith and fear to coexist at the same time. And most of you think you don't have faith in the presence of fear because you fear so much than faith. So you will feel the fear more than the faith that is already there with you. So faith does not mean the absence of fear. There was something that kept the faith of Moses to be intact, and it was not faith. You see, some of you think you need faith to keep faith. What kept the faith of Moses intact? That even though there were not just one thing to fear, the king himself, but there were a lot of fears that Moses had to face. And these were fears he could not share with anyone. Because how do you go to a fellow brother and you start sharing with them your fears? Yet you're the one who's supposed to deliver them. Where he was in Egypt, there was no one whom he could share his fears with. He did not just have the fear of the king, but there was also the fear of a God that you've just encountered the other day. You don't have enough experience with this God to give you enough confidence to deliver a nation, and you're already doubting about just your family. Just the little words that your brother, your cousin, your uncle has said about your God has already planted enough doubts in you concerning whether you will make it. Hear me? Not doubting God. There you're okay. You believe in this God, but it's one thing to believe in God, it's another to believe that you're going to make it. And I'm not talking about heaven here. I'm saying most of you where you are right now, it's not that you don't believe in God. You don't believe that you're going to make it. Because all of you here, if I'm supposed to ask you, do you believe in God? There you have no problem. But if I'm supposed to ask you, how many of you believe that in the next month you're going to be at this level? But Moses is coming to a nation and tell them, the I am that I am has sent me. And God is so intelligent that he even uses a terminology that the people that know this God have never heard God through this description. They know him as Jehovah Jireh from the history. They were told about Abraham and Isaac, and the Lord provided. So they knew if God was supposed to say to Moses, tell them it's Jehovah Jireh, the children of Israel should have more faith in Moses. But I am the I am. Which God is this? Because in our history of this Jehovah, we have never heard that description before. So there's the fear of the king. There's also the fear of Moses not knowing this God. He does not have enough experience to deliver a nation. So he has already fear of this God. And on top of it, fear about the people. Because what the people know about him is that you were privileged above us. You never suffered like us. You were born in the palace, lived in the palace, lived with princes and prince. And today you're telling us that God has sent you. You don't know how it feels to be in our shoes. You've never even one day had to step on bricks to make bricks. And then you're telling us that our God has called you. It is much more easier to believe God raising someone amongst you. Someone who knows your pain. Someone who knows what you are going through, because they are also going through the same thing. By faith, he forsook Egypt, not fearing the wrath of the king. There was not just the wrath of the king. Remember, he has to go back to the same people who said to him, Who are you to judge among us? In fact, the word was, they even said, who are you that you've become a prince over us? So you're now coming back again to the same people who never believed in you. And the only thing God is telling you, tell them, I am the I am. Don't tell me that Moses did not have fear. Can you imagine the level of faith that you need to talk to a people who know this God historically more than you? Because you know the history of Egypt. They know the history of Yahweh. You know the history of Egypt. They know more about this God more than you. People will never follow a leader they don't believe in. So imagine how much faith Moses needed to make the people believe in him. Yet they knew he grew in the palace. There was a lot for Moses to fear. Remember, God has told him, God, deliver my people. Which means there's not even one single person who's supposed to remain in Egypt. So how do you pass the message to the last Israelite? He had faith in the midst of fear, and he still needed to endure. While you think if you have faith, there's nothing you endure. You think that when you have faith, there will not be moments of fear or moments of doubt. Some of you think faith is a shield against worry. You won't know if you're bold, if everything is okay. So what maintained the faith of Moses? In the midst of everything, Moses never lost his focus.